Hello, welcome to part 2 of a presentation for mobile short-range HF RFID reader. In part 2, I'll talk about some detailed features of this reader. As you can see, the reader is housed in a black box, and going out of this black box is an RF cable that's connected to a WAN antenna. Okay, I'll just put away the WAN antenna so that I can concentrate on this reader. The black box that you see in front of this picture is 15.8 centimeters lengthwise, 9.5 centimeters width, and 5.5 centimeters depth. So I say again, 15.8 by 9.5 by 5.5 centimeters. Okay, first of all, when you look at this black box in this orientation, you see that there's a number of LED viewing holes. For example, this row of LED viewing holes, and you have two more smaller viewing holes for two more LEDs here. This viewing holes is to view the status of the reader when it reads a tag or when it is on or off. So just for a quick example, if you just turn on the switch, the green light of the reader turns on, which means to say that the reader is working alright. Now let's turn off the reader again. Then these two lights here is for the charging status of the batteries. So for example, if you were to put a charging jack into this charging point here, you can see that the LEDs light up to indicate the charging status of the batteries. I will provide more detailed information of these LEDs as well as those LEDs over there later on to explain the different meaning of these LEDs. Okay, let's go on to the other parts of the reader. Now at the top of the reader, you will see that there are a pair of half circle rings. The half circle rings is for an adjustable strap similar to this nylon strap, where you can hook onto the rings like that, and this strap can then be used to sling over your shoulders so that you can carry this box without requiring your hand. So your hand can be used, for example, to hold the WAN antenna or to hold a netbook or PC. There is a USB port on the reader, as you can be seen here. This USB port is to send information to the notebook or to the netbook when the reader is in operation. You use a USB extension cable like this, right, where this female end plugs into this part and the male end plugs into the PC or notebook or netbook or ultramobile PC, and then it can communicate with your PC and send information back and forth. Alright, now let's look at the front again. Alright, as I've used the switch just now, I'll just say again something about this switch. This switch is to run the reader. So when you turn on the reader, the green LED lights up to indicate that the reader is running. Now this switch has got an important function because it controls the running and the charging functions of the reader. So for example, if you need to run the reader, you just turn on the switch. Now the important thing about this switch is this, that when you are running the reader, you should not be charging the batteries. So if you were to do this, that the reader has this green light on, meaning to say that the reader is still running, and you plug in the charging jack, This is going to cause your reader to act weird. It will do some funny things to the data. So do not do this. This is bad. So when the reader is running, it should not be in charging state at all. Now if you want to charge, you turn off the switch so that the green light turns off. Then you can start charging the batteries. So this is the correct way of charging the battery and running the reader. Never do the two things at one time. Okay? Now finally, there is a convenient fending hook which is attached to the side of this box. The purpose of this fending hook is to actually mate to a semicircle ring on the WAN antenna. This is the WAN antenna. It's got a semicircle ring. So what happens is that after using the WAN antenna, and you need both hands to operate your netbook or your ultra mobile PC, what you can do is that you can mate like this. You can mate the WAN antenna to the box. The box is slung on your shoulders, so this frees up your two hands to operate your notebook or ultra mobile PC or netbook. Right, okay, finally I just like to show what type of AC-DC adapter we use to charge the battery. This is a typical 12 volt AC to DC adapter which you can buy from any electrical shop. So this is not really hard to get, you can get it anywhere. Thank you for listening to part 2. I'll see you in part 3.